Alrighty then, it's time for a Xin Zhao game, and as you can see by the length of this game, it's gonna suck. In fact, every Xin Zhao game I've had for the last month or two have sucked. Much like the Volibear games, it's like, even if I win, the games are low quality and they're not really usable, or they take forever and they're a pain in the ass to make, sort of like this one. Now, look at this. I catch the Shyvana and she just kind of walks away. It's like, why do you go AFK before the game starts? You know, they might pull you or they might gank you or something. And still, she just goes to her wolves and get level 2 anyways because she's got this whole smite teleport setup. And this is before it was nerfed. So it's quite brutal still. By the way, check out the fact that I have a jungle Aurelia on my team. That's not exactly going to help my team at all. And I know I jungle stuff like Ezreal or Twitch sometimes, but Jungle Aurelia is one of the weaker jungles in the game. She's got some traits that make her feel like she'd be a good jungler, right? She's got built-in sustain, true damage, a gap closer, and a stun, or conditional stun. But she's really, really slow and really, really expensive, and that's a really dangerous combination. She's also doesn't have any tools that make her super mobile or able to, you know, make up for the fact she's slow, like Shen or something. So yeah, she's a very weak jungler. She needs items to be strong, and she can't farm it. So like her mid game is going to be so weak coming straight from the jungle. And this guy was very adamant about the fact that Jungle Aurelia is strong. Of course, he did get an assist, sort of a gank early, but that was just kind of anybody could have gotten in this situation. Now here I fight the Shyvana, and yeah, she has a red buff, and yeah, she's got a full item, well, half an item over me. So I probably really shouldn't have picked a fight, and as that cost me both my summoner spells, and since that, I'm kind of now have to be defensive. So yeah, that was a huge mistake. I tried to force the fight just because I thought I had a minion advantage. Now, as you can see, Aurelia has died 2 times so far, so this is not helping her case at all. She's not having the gold she needs. She's 16 monster kills so far. Maybe a lane minion kill too. So right now, my team is quite behind, even though we have even kills. It's just the distribution of gold is really lopsided. I could have done well with less gold. Aurelia couldn't. It would have been smarter to make me jungle rather than the Aurelia. But why didn't I? Because the player didn't want to. So yeah, it's just a really bad situation from the get-go. It's pretty much the opposite of what you'd want to have. Now, taking notice of this, the item build I am taking so far is Vampiric Scepter, which opens me up to getting either 2 items. The Tiamat into the Hydra or to the Blade of the Rune King. Both are actually good items on Xin Zhao. It depends on what you need. I personally prefer Blade of the Rune King on Xin Zhao more than I do Hydra, and that's the item I'm building for in this game. Though in retrospect, it feels like I probably shouldn't have purchased it. I probably should have gotten with a Hydra, and you'll see why. I just don't have the burst in some situations before I get dropped. Still though, the reason why I like to go the active items on Xin Zhao is because he's one of those champions with a lot of steroids, and he's got a lot of burst power in the beginning of a fight, so it kind of makes sense to activate all your items and go gung-ho. By the way, the Shyvana here just tears me to pieces. This is gonna be like the grand metaphor of the game. Shyvana is unstoppable, and my top lane is essentially buried, and there's nothing I can do to defend it. So I'm just sort of forced to farm forever. And that's not bad on Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao scales really well with items and becomes really, really stupid if you let him get farmed or fed. So that's no problem with me. But now my Shyvana is able to essentially farm the top lane, push it all the way to the second tower, and then go to the jungle and take everything. Watch this at bottom lane. The enemy team, red team, fights it so poorly. They focus on 3 different targets, and then they're surprised one of them gets killed. However, my teammates go really, really crazy for the kills, and while they do get the Vi kill, Annie gets a kill on the Draven, and then she gets a kill on the Aurelia as well. And then the Vladimir goes fucking thirsty and goes into the tower after he's already used his W, gets stunned and shot down. So yeah, that situation in which my teammates, blue team, had actually won turned into such a catastrophic loss because they got super greedy. They could have just gotten the first kill and called it quits and just, gone away with it, so gotten good with it. But damn, that guy was greedy. Speaking of greedy, the Shyvana thought she could take us 2v1, and it just ended up getting absolutely ass blasted, so she dropped too. very good for me in the Aurelia, considering the Aurelia is so far behind in terms of level golden farm. Uh, and me, I just need as much bit of gold as I can use. And the active items, like I said, are also working as a double purpose in this. Active items are usually gold inefficient without their actives, but when you use their actives, they're usually more gold efficient than regular items that have no actives. It's sort of like during this moment in time when all your items are being activated, you're really strong, and you're in fact stronger than you should be. But after it's done, you're essentially spent. And that's my idea going into this game. It's like I'm building these active items because I'm getting my ass kicked quite badly, and I feel that when we start going to the team fights, I need as much boost of power as I can. Speaking of team fights, this fight is just fucking terrible. I was charging my Q 2 times so I can use it to hit the Annie, but Shyvana I couldn't get through her, and then I burned my flash for no goddamn reason. So two of us die, and we lose Dragon as well. Really bad loss. The enemy team has pretty much secured the map, and they're taking objectives, and we're really not able to do anything. If we try to fight a team fight, we're just gonna get destroyed by the Annie, regardless of how badly she's been using some of her abilities. In fact, she used her abilities badly here and wasn't able to kill the Janna. I think she actually missed one. And me, I can't farm beyond river because the second I do, Shyvana can just catch me and obliterate me. So it's like I'm stuck getting any scraps of gold that are left over. By the way, though, here is fortunate for me. Blitzcrank and Shyvana actually will tower dive me, and my teammates just happen to be in the area, and they assist me. I managed to survive, alright, and the Shyvana ends up getting pretty much killed for free. Well, not really for free, but she gets killed because of a really greedy move. We kill the Blitzcrank as well, so it's a huge bonus to us. Unfortunately, my teammates get ambushed by Vi and Annie, right? I think right now. No, Vi and Annie are coming in. They get chased into the jungle, and then they get Vladimir gets assaulted. I couldn't help him because if I did, I figured I would die. I told myself if I go in there, I'd probably die. Though in retrospect, I probably should have, because maybe we could have killed 1-for-1. Like Vladimir probably would have died, and I would have killed Annie, and I would have just had to walk away from the Vi who had no mana. But yeah, I at the moment I was a little bit too afraid of getting more kills. Speaking of kills, my teammates just gave the enemy team a lot more kills. In fact, another triple for them. So yeah, it's just the situation is getting worse and worse, and here I am just trying to get as much gold as possible. I take down a tower, which is a really good thing for Xin Zhao. He's just a tower grinder. But of course, again, I cannot push beyond the river because I'm so goddamn afraid of the enemy team just annihilating me. The goal in this game right now is just to get really fed and to kill either Annie or Controller before she gets to annihilate my teammates, or to force her to use her ultimate in a really poor fashion. Again, so my team doesn't get CC'd. And after that, Graves must die. Shyvana needs to be controlled as well, but it's really hard to do. I'm not the person who can do it. Maybe I can use my ultimate once just to knock her away, but that's as much as I can do. It's going to be up to like the Aurelia, honestly. I get hand blasted by the Annie, and they manage to take my tower finally. My Aurelia goes in there trying to defend it, but as try as she might, she ends up just kind of giving out a really easy kill. She's really weak. You can see she's finished with the Rune King and Devour. She's just damage. I mean, she's got a Warden's Mail, but that's not enough. Especially considering a lot of them do a lot of magic damage, so she's really fucking weak. She's 4, 7, and 5, and she's only going to be able to get some scrap kills here and there, like assist and whatnot. We try to chase after the Shyvana, but she got her Randuin's Omen. She slows me down, and unfortunately she gets away with just a sliver of health. But we did manage to get some free kills there because the enemy team was too cocky, and they sort of tried to back off at the tower. Now, in some of these games, in some of these really bad situations, I might give up. But in this game, I wasn't too keen on giving up because we have a lot of late game potential. I mean, Vladimir just has to spread his aids everywhere, and we just have to AoE them down or pick off the right targets and then sort of grind them down. Like, as you can see, I'm actually starting to be able to do a lot of damage. Of course, I do almost die in a lot of situations, so I need a tanky build right away. And before some ask, why didn't I build Black Cleaver? It's for the same reason as to why I built Blade of the Rune King and Ghost Blade. Is because I need the gold efficiency immediately. Black Cleaver is only really strong once the enemy team builds armor, and not as a first item. And even then, the components to it are very weak. Well, the components to Ghost Blade and Blade of the Rune King are really strong. So I actually end up building Black Cleaver, but much later, because, again, I needed the gold boost, the artificial gold boost, so to speak. So the enemy team, they have a blitzcrank that keeps pulling us just to get him killed. It's like he pulled me for no gain. I just turn around and like CC lock him, and he gets killed by the Draven. It was like a free kill. The enemy was probably surprised, like, the fuck you're doing? I can't fight these all by myself. So yeah, that was just a free blitzcrank kill, and this is not the first time, and gonna be it's not gonna be the last time either that he does that. A fight breaks out at bottom, and like I said, Annie is one of my prime targets, so as soon as I see her, I jump on her. She is forced to use her CC on me, and I managed to take her down before I get dropped, but at least she didn't use it on my teammates. Unfortunately, again, the Shyvana is just too damn strong and just chases the Vladimir down. Try as he, well, he actually managed to escape, but try as he might, he really can't do anything. The Graves here goes ham for the Aurelia, but he should know, if you couldn't melee range versus a really strong melee champion, even if they're behind you, behind you in terms of gold and power, they might still kill you, because being in melee range is where they're the strongest, right? I don't quite understand the people who kind of do that. It's like, yeah, you might be at full health and Aurelia might be at 20%, but she's stronger and really, really strong in melee. Like, you came into her turf, right? So yeah. I'm building Spirit Visage. Well, not Spirit Visage. I mean, Banshee's Veil, just to survive in any first contact blow I might have with the Annie or something. Survive the stun and then just go ham. And then I believe I build a random Zoman. I don't quite remember. Fight breaks out. My teammates just bail. I figured this would have been a good time to fight, seeing as Shyvana again was nowhere really to be seen. It could have been a 4v5, but my team was way too scattered and a little too worried, and kind of rightfully so. Here, though, I catch a Graves by himself. Just look at him. His teammates are all doing Baron, and he's by himself. So I flash forward E, and I pop everything I have just to kill him. Like, he cannot fight me, no matter what he does. And now it's a 4v4 for essentially only costing me my flash. A really strong Graves, dead from free, essentially. So the fight breaks out. Vladimir goes in, and he throws his aids on top of the enemy team. And once again, though, look at this. Blitzcrank helps me get close to the Annie. So I jump on the Annie, slowly jump on the Annie after the CC wears off, and we manage to kill her. Still, though, the fight is not in our favor because the Shyvana is just so big and our Draven is already dead. I believe I managed to... No, I actually don't manage to take out anybody. I do as much damage as I can to the Vi. The only one I figure could possibly die during this. We pick her off, and then Vlad gets killed by the Shyvana. So we prevented the Baron at least. That's good. We prevented the Baron and got a few kills. And again, our late game is incredibly strong. So as long as we can get there by trading a few kills back and forth, it's fine. My score isn't that great either. Aurelia's score is awful, and Draven is, unfortunately, we can't protect him, so I can't blame him for having a pretty shitty spread. And the Vladimir, he said he's never played Vladimir, so he's just kind of being reckless, and I have mixed feelings about that. Watch this now. I charge my Q twice on the Blitzcrank. Charge it twice, right now. Strike, and as soon as Annie's in range, I change to her, and just use my ultimate and try to cause a separation. The Annie gets killed. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get the kill. And I go straight on the Graves, and I almost take him out as well. I take him out of the fight. I almost took his life. So that's 3 kills for my death, and that's completely worth it. Well, my teammates want to go for Baron, but they should realize that Shyvana is going to obviously barrel through. Now, this fight could have been fought better if they have just changed to her immediately, but they're very, very hungry for the Baron, and the Aurelia actually didn't get her smite off. The Draven managed to secure it. Unfortunately, the Draven's going to get dropped by the Shyvana, and then the Aurelia picks up the Shyvana kill. And it's still worthwhile for us because we secured the Baron, but it was way too risky. They could have probably just taken out the Shyvana and then gone for Baron. Or not really gone for it at all. So this is kind of where the comeback is real already, even though we're still kind of behind in terms of map control. We're essentially able to fight them. I have the Banshee's Veil, and it protects me against the Annie, so I've got that going for me. As you can see, I had the Phage, and I'm building my way towards a Black Cleaver. I jump on the Annie, and I thought maybe we could have fought this, but I get pulled before I get to use my ultimate, and I just get extremely just destroyed. My teammates aren't able to contribute anything to this, and they get pulled in. But fortunately, the Vladimir gets a really good ultimate, and he obliterates their health. The Draven shows up, though. Well, he shows up very late, and I think he only managed to pick off Well, he picks off the Annie right now. Flash hits her in the face with an axe. The child is murdered. The Graves is actually really, really greedy right now. He wants to take the kill, but unfortunately for him, he just gets an axe to the face. So it was a bad situation for us, but it could have been worse. I mean, like if the Graves didn't throw his life away, it would have been a 2 for 4. But now instead it was a 3 for 4. So it's kind of worth it, right? We find them at Dragon, we go gung ho, and we manage to kill the Vi. But then we chase even further. I don't have my Banshee's Veil, and Annie homie shows up and just annihilates us with her spells. I believe Irelia gets dropped before she manages to kill Shyvana, and then I get chased down and dropped as well. So it's a really bad trade. 2 for 1, and they get Dragon 2. They're insanely powerful. So even though we were starting to make a comeback, now we sort of have to play in the defensive again. The Draven picks up a free Blitzcrank kill. Like, he really doesn't realize that he shouldn't be picking fights with people who can one-shot him or two-shot him or whatever. So my build is quite strong actually right now. If I get on top of anybody, I would probably kill them and they wouldn't be able to run away. Shyvana pending, I can't really do anything to her. So my goal again is still either kill Annie before she burns her ultimate on my team, or force her to burn it on just me, or kill Graves. That's kind of the whole goal right now. It's up to Vladimir and Irelia to protect the Draven. Vladimir to get a good ultimate, and the Irelia just to kill whoever attacks a teammate. She's got the true damage to do it, so hopefully she does it. 2 Blade of the Rune Kings on my team. I remember I said if in retrospect I probably should have gotten Hydra instead of Blade of the Rune King, but Hydra was just kind of mean. My whole desperate must make my gold worth it moment. Now this fight here is just terrible and all sorts of bad in a lot of ways. Look, I'm just sort of waiting for Annie to get in position so I can attack her. My teammates attacked the Shyvana, forcing the Annie to get into position, and I just dive her just straight ahead. I use all my abilities. She ends up going through stasis, and I poked her bear just because he's too fat and I couldn't target her. And I kill the Graves as he tries to flash away, and then I get sort of killed. I try to do as much damage as possible before I get dropped, but I already contributed, right? But just watch this. My teammates are going to give them chase. They catch the Annie and they do kill her, and then they give chase to the Blitzcrank and the Irelia. If the Draven had just switched to the goddamn Shyvana, it would have saved Irelia's life. In fact, if he had just switched to the goddamn Shyvana, he would have survived as well. Like, the Blitzcrank kill is like worth nothing. The Shyvana kill is worth a whole shutdown goal, as you can see. But he focused the wrong target on a full greedy moment. It was painful. So, still though, we're still hanging on. Like, I have the Black Cleaver complete. My damage is ridiculous. Once again, I catch the Graves and I just go gung-ho on him. He fucking dies. Like, he gets really greedy, and he should realize that we kind of have a good ways of picking people off, especially me, and I will go for it. Again, at this point, I think I could even kill the Shyvana 1v1 as long as she doesn't red smite my ass. So, alright, Baron is alive, we're preparing for it, we're warding up, and we're trying to be careful. This next fight is quite a messy. I jump on the Shyvana, I just stab her a few times. I really jumps on the enemy Vi or whatever. I jump the Vi, we deal some damage, they run away. It's a scattered fight, like we're being sort of pinched down in here, but then the Shyvana just goes in front of us. Annie tries to sneak from behind, and the Draven jumps at her. Of course, it's not really going to amount to much. It's just so random. Like, everybody's running around in circles, and the Blitzcrank pulls the goddamn Irelia towards his teammate who was trying to run away from the Irelia and gets Shyvana killed. It's like Blitzcrank. Just because you got the pull doesn't mean you got to try it. So that means we get a Baron for pretty much no contest. I mean, Graves is the only contest, but he goes in just to die. And this is the full-fledged comeback right now. And it kind of happened because the enemy team, like, they were indecisive as if they wanted to fight. Half their team went in, the other half went in, and then they went out. And the other part of the team went in even more further. So it's just like, it was so disorganized, and it cost them their lives, and their victory just slipped out of their hands. So, yeah. This game is just bad on both our parts. Like, I played poorly the early game. I shouldn't have forced a fight with Shyvana, and it cost me the lane. My build isn't as best as it could be. Well, the Ghost Blade is definitely good, but not the Blade of the Rune King, probably not as good. Jungle Aurelia is Jungle Aurelia. Vladimir is first time Vladimir, and it's just really bad. So much greed everywhere, and fucking nightmare of a game. So, still, my idea in this game is still just to go after the Annie. If she CC locks my team, we're still probably screwed. The enemy Shyvana has been pretty much not doing anything this entire game outside of just farming, so she's not even in this fight originally. Look at this. The enemy team is so split up. They decide to dive anyways. They go gung-ho, and like, we get a lot of free damage onto them. Like, I managed just to get on top of the Annie, and I just start doing as much damage as I can. She pops her stasis, and then I just switch to another target. I get ulted by the bye, so they had to burn a lot of crap on me and the Aurelia, and it was worthless. It's like, it was such a scattered fight, and it caused them pretty much to lose it in a catastrophic manner. I get dropped, but the rest of their team gets dropped. Like, just go watch that again. They went way ahead. Vi and Blitzcrank way ahead of the rest of the team. They got a CC and they just got controlled. And then we were able just to dive their backline and destroy them. I forced spells on top of me, and I forced Vi to even use her ultimate on me. That was a really bad response, and it cost them the game. At least hooray for Xin Zhao, for this game didn't end in a really sad defeat. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Make sure to also check out the sponsors that make this channel possible. Links to their websites are in the description below.